time to introduce myself. My name is Helena Nat. I am the Executive Director with the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to this very important, very timely webinar. If you guys don't know anything about the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce, we are a nonprofit, 501c6, and we are solely supported by strictly our membership, our events, and business services. We don't get any funding from anywhere else. So if you're interested in connecting with our database of 30,000 different business and civic leaders on a monthly basis, we have an email blast that you can participate in every month, going out at the beginning of every month. So the next one is going out next week, the beginning of July. So contact me. The easiest way is you guys have my email, helena@chamber.nyc, ANA, not ENA, or info@chamber.nyc. Before Zach starts from the Safety Center of America, and also his associate Eric, we also have a webinar tomorrow doing business with Ireland, and also a speed and pitch networking at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon online. And those are a lot of fun. So right now it is 10 o'clock. We have 25 people. They're going to come in, Zach, as we go. So I am going to turn it over to you right now, because I know there's going to be a lot of question and answers on this, and everyone we just started phase 2 on Monday. So I am sure that we're going to have a lot of information from you guys, as well as a lot of questions from the participants. Now, for everyone, we do have a chat. I'm sure everyone is familiar with Zoom, but if you are not, there is a chat going on the bottom. You can email the questions as Zach and Eric go along, and then they will be answering the questions through that. So if you have any questions, put it in the chat. If they can't answer it, if they don't get to it, they are going to get a copy of everyone who is going to be attending, who are attending this webinar right now. So they will be able to get in contact with you and have further discussions. So right now, I'm going to, from the Safety Center of America, I am going to turn it over to Zach and Eric. Thank you so much for hosting.
Thank you so much, Helena, for having us. I'm Zach, and this is Eric. And as Helena mentioned, we are the Safety Center of America. We are part of a team right now that is working almost around the clock to help businesses reopen during the pandemic. Even beyond that, we do a lot of work with emergency preparedness, supply chain, and systems for businesses. This presentation is really going to be tailored to the members of the New York Chamber, greater businesses in New York. And we're going to present some of the solutions that we have created and strategies to help you guys reopen. In addition, we're going to go through some of the New York Forward requirements that the state has mandated that businesses follow as they reopen, and go through some of the tools that we're going to offer you guys as partners of ours. So we're based in San Francisco, California. The reason we are partnered with the Greater New York Chamber all the way out here from California is because, first of all, New York has a huge place in our heart. East Coasters, I grew up going to New Year's at Madison Square Garden. I would go all the way up to Katz's Deli to get my corned beef specials, spent years on the streets with friends, all my friends in college. Lived out there, still do. So New York has a huge place in both of our hearts. And really, as this pandemic has escalated and evolved over time, despite being in California, we've watched the challenges that both of our big cities bi-coastal have faced. And especially in New York, the challenge of being so compacted with so much population and opportunity and business, and potential danger of how to spread this. So when we got the opportunity to meet Helena and learn more about the Greater New York, we decided to partner as a service to businesses to help you all reopen, to help you with the process of reopening, and to hopefully enhance your knowledge, capabilities, skill sets, and resources to answer your questions and be more prepared. So during this presentation, real quick, what we're going to go through is a little bit of history of our business, the hard products that we offer in terms of PPE equipment, but well beyond PPE equipment, we offer systems and services and templates for businesses to reopen. You know, it's not necessarily enough just to have a face mask, put it on. But as a business operating, it's really about personal preparedness, business preparedness, and having documented systems that you and the people in your business really understand and know. So again, we're going to go through all of those things, business, personal, and what we're going to offer in the COVID department. And so I'm going to turn it over to Eric to take us a little bit through how we got here.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to bring everybody up to speed. My background. I was in the Marine Corps for 5 years. When I left, I started a medical marketing practice in Los Angeles. And at that time, the Northridge earthquake hit. And it really was very unsettling for someone like me. So I started in a side business doing emergency preparedness. And as years went on, it was modest at the time. My medical practice combined with my emergency preparedness by meeting the executive at the Northridge Medical Center. And my first entree into that industry was putting together the entire emergency preparedness plan for their whole facility. So over the years, that became my specialty, emergency food, water, nutrition, and really a part of their EOP, the emergency operational planning. And as it went on, I acquired more clients, I have more knowledge, and about 5 years ago, we started moving from the larger hospital chains into the mid-sized businesses. So some of the stuff that I created based on the need were these items that you'll see in front of you. The biggest one was the emergency preparedness unit. That was the first one I set up for Northridge. It was a cargo container that had food and water for 5,000 people and dropped inside their carport. And then the next big iteration in that industry was the emergency lockers. Up here with the Sutter chain, supplying food and water for 7 facilities, the thing that struck me was, how do I get the food and water that's sitting on a pallet, and how do I get it out to people and make it more mobile? So that's where I came up with this idea. So I was able to take the emergency preparedness lockers and then transition that into small and mid-sized businesses. And then from that, just living here in California, it was now reaching out to the community and creating something on another level for personal. And that was the emergency cube. So that was a standalone personal unit that we're able to brand for our clients. And from this point right here, which really briefly brings us up to, this was launched in December. So what it did, it put us in a very unique position when this pandemic hit. I had all the supply chain established for this product. And then come February, the beginning of March, this pandemic started to rear its head. And it was very easy for us to say, well, this is what's needed. Now turn our supply chain, focus on this. But at the same time, the one big thing that a lot of people didn't have the ability to understand was the actual protocols and the safety protocols to put in place to use this PPE appropriately. So that's why we were in a very unique position come mid-March and the end of March. So that brings us up to basically today. I hope that was a pretty good brief.
Yeah.
Right?
So, I think it's important, that story, for everyone to realize, because again, like I mentioned before, we're not just a business that provides PPE, and we're going to get into what those other services are, but the reason we are here now with prepared kits, services, and tools for you is because Eric has been in this industry for 20 plus years. In March, when we saw the spread of the pandemic, we were actually working at Natural Products Expo in Anaheim, and that was the first major event in the country to get canceled. 85,000 people from all over the world were expected, food sampling, handshaking, and it wasn't until the day before everyone came or was supposed to come to that event that they canceled. And that was the moment where we looked at each other and we're like, oh my God, like what are the ramifications of that? 85,000 people all over the world, canceled hotel rooms, canceled room service, restaurants that aren't gonna have any customers with all that food, taxi cabs that won't have people, cleaning services that won't be employed, all the food and the shipping receipts. So we began to sort of go down a wormhole of the sort of holistic effects of canceling a major event. And that is when it all started to sort of spiral. And we've been working to stay up on these things with different kits, different abilities for us to manipulate and package our supply chain that we've had for years with solutions that are required for businesses, and then taking the templates and the tools that we've used for the hospital, the medical industry, and businesses for the last 20 years and apply them in a much broader, general, and simpler sense to what you as businesses can do, not only to be legal within the New York Forward and your health standards, but to be responsible for your staff, for your employees, for your workforce. So that's how we got here. We're going to get into the business services that we offer you guys as members of the Greater Chamber and as complimentary members now of the Safety Center of America. We want to be here to support you guys. We know this is challenging. We want you guys to get up and running. You guys have some of the highest impact and need to take some of the most intense precautions of any places out there. Yes, we're a business and there's a lot of sales that you need to keep a business running, but we have, and what you're learning about without spending a penny, just by being members of the Greater New York Chamber and now members of us, we are going to give you the tools you need by the end of this presentation to have almost a full New York Forward document to reopen. You're going to learn about the signage we're going to give you, the templates we're going to give you, and the trainings we're going to give you. So you can really feel like you are prepared with the documents ready to go. And if you want to download the template for the New York Forward document that is required for businesses to reopen in terms of a printed and filled out plan, in the chat box, the third link there will take you to a download of something that we've aggregated and made into an actual template for you. So as we're going through this presentation, you can download that. It's in a Word form, so you can take your own notes as you download that, and this will essentially become your safety, the beginning steps of your safety plan and the requirements of the state for New York Forward. So, you know, as we begin this, we're going to learn how to use the equipment in this presentation. We're going to teach you guys how to integrate systems. So it's not enough for you on this call to actually know how to put on a face mask or dispose of it, but really it's going to be about the plan you create for your business, how you communicate that plan to your customers, visitors, or clients, how you communicate that plan to your staff and customers, and how everyone gets on the same page. We are at a baseline of very low right now. People are beginning to understand face masks. People are beginning to understand that they need to be safe. What that means, this is all new. We're going to help you figure that out. So part of what we're doing here also is it's about liability, and liability in this slide looks like a lot of legal liability, which it is. Without a plan, if you don't take the steps to do this, the liability is going to fall on you as a GM, you as a business. Whereas if you go through our system, if you have the products, if you have the New York Forward document, all the communication and templates, you're going to mitigate a lot of that liability. Even more important than the liability for your business, you're going to mitigate your employees getting sick, because no one has time for our friends, family, or employees to get sick right now. We cannot afford to lose customers or staff, and we don't have the time or resources right now to basically be out of the field. So these plans are going to help you in all of those ways. So I'm going to get right into some of the products right now. The first product is the face mask kit.
Yeah, everything is based on this protocol right here. And it seems simple, but it took a long time to actually get to this. And once you actually see this process, you'll understand the complete setup system for wearing, putting on, removing, storing, and disposing of a face mask. One of the reasons we are seeing another spike is the handling of PPE and the disposing of it. It's just something nobody would really understand unless you're in the medical industry. But this is a medical-based protocol, and something as simple as you'll see that disposal bag really makes this a complete system.
It's not working. You want to check it? So we see a comment that the link's not working. We're gonna check it real quick as I go through this. But in each of these face mask kits, you get a KN95 individually packaged mask. You get 2 hand sanitizing alcohol wipes in there, and then you get a bag for reuse of your face mask and disposal of your face mask, as well as instructions for how to use a face mask, how to take it on and take it off. A couple reasons this is important. First of all, individually packaged masks. If you're a business operating and you want to give out masks to people, if you're thinking about contamination, when you walk in, if there's a box of masks just sitting next to the door, you are contaminated via the virus, and you reach your hand into a box of masks, all of a sudden that whole box is now contaminated. So we've gone through and we have repackaged all of our KN95 masks and all of the masks we offer to be individually packaged. Additionally, as Eric was saying, a reuse bag and a disposal bag. When you are handing out masks, the last thing you want in your business is for contaminated, what is technically considered medical waste, to be building up in your trash cans, building up in your facility. It's going to be through this system. One of the things we offer is the training. So if you do happen to give out these masks, whether it be to staff, customer, or client, you're going to train them that when they take on their mask, they put it off, they have a bag now that they can put that mask in to take it out of your facility. If they're a customer that's coming in for an hour for an appointment, they can take that mask and they can reuse it. So it's really about those systems. The 2 wipes are there. So before you put on your mask, you can clean your hands. And when you take your mask off, you can clean your hands. So as Eric said, this is the basis of the next couple kits you're going to see and some of the products we offer you. All of the kits that you're going to see and all the materials here can be custom branded. I showed you the alcohol wipes. I showed you the face mask kits. All of that can be custom branded. We have foil wrappers. So if you're a hotel like the Mondrian, for example, you might wipe something that has the entire kit with your brand on it, with instructions on the backside that looks a little nicer and can go in a hotel room. So we have various methods to brand stuff, whether it be hand sanitizers. We also realize that it's not necessarily you're just going to give out the mask, but it's going to be how you distribute the mask. So if you're a medical facility and you're taking clients, let's say you're acupuncturist, we have door tags that have this. So if you're taking an appointment-based business and you want your client to follow a system prior to coming in, you're going to be able to give them something where on the door when they come to your business is the mask. And this is going to ensure that your client is going to follow your protocol. You're going to make sure that they have a clean, non-contaminated mask, that their hands have been cleaned before they come into the facility, that they have a place to use it, that they understand that. And that sort of system is what we'll get into and train you for, but that gives you and your staff the confidence that the people coming into your facility are taking the proper precautions. And it's going to give the customer who you're giving this kit to the confidence that you take their safety seriously. So again, a lot of custom, everything you see, we can do custom branding. So you can really show your customers what what you're all about and that this is part of your plan. Our safety business kits. So those face mask kits, we offer them in kits of 24. We offer them in kits of 50, and we offer them beyond customization to whatever size you need. With these larger kits, and I can show you one right here. Let's see if I can do it without. So kind of exactly what you see in the picture, but it comes with 24 individually packaged face masks. It comes with extra gloves, extra pocket carabiner hand sanitizers, biohazard bags for disposal, extra hand sanitizers, antibacterial soap, all the storage bags you need, all the instructions you're going to need, all the signage you're going to need for it. These can be drop shipped anywhere in the world. We also have subscription services where if you want a recurring system of ordering, we can do that. Again, appointment-based businesses, these are great because they will prevent cross-contamination from people taking those things. It's going to give any person coming in for an appointment the material they need, any of your clients coming in. These are also really great for limos or delivery businesses. We really started thinking about drivers who were delivering food on the front lines. We've developed this larger kit into a smaller one, which has enough materials for a frontline driver. So you're driving for a limo, you're driving for Uber, you're driving for Grubhub. We can send basically a subscription of a smaller box with 4 masks, 4 gloves, the alcohol wipes, everything they need essentially to operate for an entire week. And if you have drivers that are continuously driving and that are continuously taking customers, this is a really easy way that we can help with the logistics of ensuring those drivers have the materials they need to be safe. And if you want to offer them to their passengers, we can do that for you as well. We have other products. I'm just going to run through these pretty quick. Hand sanitizers, mobile hand sanitations, acrylic shields. This is basically everything you've seen in businesses that are needed to open. We can get these to you. We have supply chain and we can custom brand them for you. This is where it gets into some of the things you're going to need, and we're going to get into the details in New York Forward. But after this presentation, we're going to send you a link so you can download over 30 signs that you're going to need to hang in your businesses about distancing, about face masks, about where people wait for pickup. We're going to send you educational posters you can hang in your facility about how to wear a mask, how to clean your hands. These are things that aren't just necessary, but required by the state. And we're going to send you a link to download those after that. Additionally, New York Forward is going to require you to log a lot of things, your cleaning maintenance, your health screenings. We're going to send you a download of all of the logs you need so you can just really print them up, have them in there, and everything you need, again, for New York Forward, we're going to provide you after this presentation. As a member, you're going to have the ability to sign up, and we're going to be able to send you monthly information in the mail, new products that you could use, new discounts. So if you sign up, you'll expect sort of a box of what we have to offer and what is available to you guys. We also want to help you. Again, we are a service industry that also sells PPE products. We have graphic design on hand. So if you want to customize any of these things, you can work with our designer. If you want to customize your templates that you're going to send your staff manual out to everyone, we can help you customize that. We are, as time goes on, developing instructional videos, webinars that we're going to start hosting weekly. And by becoming a member, you are becoming a member, but by signing up officially with us, you're going to get access to all of these things. Lastly, a step beyond just membership, which is what you guys already are now just by being a part of the greater New York Chamber, we offer a deeper dive. Typically larger businesses are using this, but it is a certification. It's called the Certified Safety System Program. What this certification does is it gets you custom face mask program and branded PPE supplies. It's going to give you custom signage that you're going to be able to download and print up. It's going to give you all the additional safety items your business needs. It's going to give you a communication plan that deals with every aspect of touch that a customer will come from, what the communication on your website is, the newsletters you're going to send out, the signage you have, how often they need to see the signage, and then the process and policies you're going to implement and share to those people. And then lastly, we're going to do customized staff training and guidelines for your businesses. Once you go through that system, you'll receive a certification letting your business, your staff, your customers know that you take this stuff seriously. Again, this is just sort of reiterating, when you become a member, you're going to get access to all of this material. In addition, we have a system. It's not enough, as I said earlier, for you watching this to know what's going on. It's really critical that your staff and your employees know what's going on. So we've built in a system to certify that your staff has read and understand this. This is something from a liability perspective that you'll keep on record to show whoever, a health inspector, anyone, that all your staff not only knows this, has been trained on this, but you have a signed document saying they've read this, and we offer you that service. We talked about the messaging plan a little bit, but really, if you go into a hotel, it's about the reservation, the email you send to describe your policies. Then it's when they come in, what your valet does, and the signage at the door. And then when they get to the front desk, what the front desk has, when do they get their mask, and when they approach the elevator, what signs you need there, and then when they get to their room. So we go through, whether you're a hotel, whether you're a medical facility, whether you're a retail space, and give you that 10-point messaging plan so you really understand all the touch points, all the visibility points, and all the places that you need to train your customers and your staff to act within your system. So that's kind of the certification. And now we're going to get into the New York Forward document. Eric's going to spend probably the next 10, 15 minutes with you to really go in. Again, I'm not sure if this is downloaded.
With the link is in the chat to download this. So it's a printable, editable version of this. And we're going to go through, and I've highlighted the pieces in here that are mandatory. The very first piece that's required is an actual printed document. So we have sent you that so you could take notes, go back later on and fill it out. So the very first thing, if anybody asks, where is your printed document, you'll have that. But what's more important, once you fill out that information, and you saw earlier, we're going to send you the link that you can then take your answers, and then you'll take the our educational information, forward it to your team. It's a very simple questionnaire. They will read the same information, your safety standards, and when they hit submit, you then have documentation on your end of that they read the material, that they understand what is their requirements. A lot of people don't understand in terms of, especially on the educational side, the extended use of PPE could be very detrimental. So you might start your plan, and the next thing you know, people are becoming infected, their skin is breaking out, and there was just no awareness of that. And we can mitigate that by giving just this basic plan to start with. So in this document, that's the first section. And this is what I was telling, like, you're gonna have two questions. Your staff and guest, what is your plan? And then it's going to be the Department of Health, what is your plan? So at a certain point, you say, well, here is my plan, it's printed out, and here is the actual answers to what you requested based on the document you provided. The second piece of this is the requirements of signage and posting of social distancing. This document's only 4 pages. It's a top level document, and for whatever industry that you're in, you will do a deeper dive into the more specific requirements for your industry. But here they've laid out what they're requesting. And a lot of it is, and I think we know, is distancing, signage and distancing. So at the end of this, I'll send you the link. There's over 30 of these in different formats that you can print out. Some for the floor, some for the wall, for your break area, but those points where your staff come in and either congregate.
And I think, just to interject real quick, one of the things that these downloadable signs are good for is we've seen a lot of businesses open with handwritten notes on the walls about the signage, about how far you need to be. We want to help you guys have some standardization within your business. We can customize these, but by showing that you have real printed signs that look nice, it just shows your customers and your clients that you're taking this one step further rather than some of the generic signage that we've seen from businesses out here. So
in the New York Forward document, and one thing, reading through it saying this is what you need, we're giving it to you. So I'll send you the link for this cleaning maintenance log. It's pretty basic, but it's still required. The signage is required. And once you start seeing this and implementing this into your business, it just becomes another thing that people do. It's not overly dramatic. It's just another thing that people layer into their daily work routine. So that's the next document. The next one that's required is this contact log and people entering your business for contact tracing purposes, is to maintain a log of who comes in case somebody actually comes down with COVID, and then it's mandatory that you reach out to the state and start helping with contact tracing. So this is the log that you're required to have, and here's the signage that goes along with it. All right. Oh, that's the process one. Oh, sorry, I jumped over one. Oh, so now also required is the health assessment, is setting up a place in your business, how to set it up, and go through these required questionnaires of people coming into your business. Here is the log, and it is required that it's filled out. Here is a sample of the actual contact tracing document that's used for the state of New York, and here's the additional signage of how you're going to handle that going forward, because if anything happens in contact tracing, they're going to ask you for this document, right?
So that's the basis of the New York Forward document and the things we're going to provide you after this conversation or after this presentation that we'll be able to email for you. Through this partnership with the Chamber, things that you're going to get after this, if you sign up, is an hour consultation session where we can help you dive into your New York Forward document. We can talk to you about any of the plans or procedures you need to operate, and that is a complimentary consultation. We're going to send you all of the COVID-19 signage and posters that are required for your business, all the templates, forms, and checklists that we have now and that we are continually creating for you to operate your business more effectively in this time. We also are going to continue to update the template for the New York Forward and give you questions that you can ask yourself, checklists to ensure you've done that, give you access to training videos, research, and information to share with your team. And we're going to be here for you guys if you have any questions, comments, concerns, need anything. In terms of the certified safety system, we can offer you everything that we've talked about there, the graphic design, the access to the library, account specialists, but it's really with that about diving into a whole company-wide system where you, your staff, your customers all know what's going on. Not enough just to give the PPE materials out to people, but really important that some of these larger businesses have really detailed services and systems to operate during this time. So basically, here's some next steps for you guys. There's a link on this slide if you want to become a member officially. It's free for you guys to join. This is where you'll get your New York Forward template. This is where you'll be able to receive the signage, and this is where you'll get your free, you'll get into our system to start receiving monthly samples of our products and our kits. If you want to inquire more about any of this, there's my email down there, and you can sort of browse our products. But now we're about halfway through, and I want to open this up to questions. I also see some comments in here. I was just looking through that. Good question. Why did you bring a company from California out to support New York businesses? I could see why that might sound weird. We have been operating nationwide in hospitals and medical systems. We're moving so fast during COVID that we have not seen a lot of other businesses that are providing the services that we have during the pandemic, and we wanted to help New York. Now, no doubt you'll be able to find a vendor in New York who can get you PPE equipment, who can get you gloves. You might have to go to 4 or 5 vendors to get all that, or you might have one where you can get all that. But we haven't really found any other people, and we hope they start popping up more that are going to help train your staff, that are going to help train you, that are going to help you implement full holistic programs for your businesses that educate and inform people and that reduce your liability. We think
also,
it's crazy too.
Zach and Eric, can I also weigh in on this?
Yeah, sure.
You know what, I just wanted to let you know that we, throughout this week, it's just not, we've been talking about PPE. We've had attorneys on giving information on the regulations. But you know what, Zach and Eric did come to us, the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce. I thought it was a good partnership, even though they are in California. because they are providing a lot of free templates. And it's really important for a small business to have that avenue, because you know, some people can afford attorneys for this, but Zach and Eric are giving the templates out for us to, you know, for the small business who doesn't have a lot of money to go to an attorney. And no disrespect on that, they're, you know, if they do need it, we do have the attorneys for that, but they offered the free templates for our small businesses. So Zach and Eric, I just wanted to throw that out.
Yeah, again, we are soft selling our products and hard selling our services, which is we want to help you reopen. And there's not a lot of resources out there for you. So that's why we've made as much as possible free, a lot of our time, a lot of the things we've developed, a lot of the templates. And, you know, it's not like the pandemic is going to stop soon necessarily. And it's not necessarily like business is just going to go back to normal. And it's not like we went to college to learn how to become pandemic business helpers. We are been in the health industry for 20 years doing emergency response, and we are shifting our focus and our format to support businesses. So we are learning as you are learning, and we are working as hard as we can with all the experts we know to find the best systems products to share with you guys. And
also in terms of New York, I do the procurement for Community Hospital on Battery Street. So in the middle of this, globally trying to access the same exact PPE as the rest of the world, I was doing it for Community Hospital, waking up at midnight and then just fighting everybody to get access to this, to get it to New York. So I have a real invested into this community and the community hospital.
But valid question. So I'm just going to go on.
Zach, we have some questions.
I'm reading.
Yeah,
I'm reading through them right now, so I'll address some of those. So will you be able to send us a copy of your slide deck? Yes. Again, we'll be able to, after this, we're going to get a list of everyone who's attended. We'll be able to send that out. Look for an email. It's basically going to, you know, also instruct you to do what's on the screen right now, but we'll send this deck out as well. Has your company gone through a certification process? Who certifies your system is acceptable to New York City?
Well, I deal with the OSHA and the CMI, the Cleaning Maintenance International. So I'm basically using a lot of their systems that are our sub-certifications, our cleaning systems and our medical systems for our hospitals, and basically rolling it over into our system. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. You can ask more questions about that on this chat if there is. Do you have any advice for businesses that plan to be in an outdoor space, like running a class in a park?
Yeah. Distancing, just mask and distancing, and definitely a way to dispose of the mask. But prior to that, like on our messaging system, is awareness. This is the proactive comprehensive plan we're putting in. We're going to be providing the mask. This is how you get it. The information on how to put the mask on will be there. But before they even get there, if you give them that information, so it's not the first time they see it, you're handing them something. That's super important. When we were doing that for the Mondrian Hotel, so we could have multiple touch points as soon as they pull up to the valet, that this isn't new to them. They know what to expect. But the park, like running the class in a park, yeah, you're in a better situation because there's, you know, the K95 face mask is, you know, for indoor, you know, hotels, because you have the tight hallways, an elevator, or a waiting room. But outside, you could probably use the 3-ply mask because you have a little bit more room to work with and you have the circulation of the air. So you're in a better position to do that.
And I think that's just like a, you know, a brief summary. But again, I think for me, out of what Eric just said, the important takeaways there are really about communicating to your clients what your policy is, and staying strong to that, and really having a system to deal with that. And you're in a park, he brought up a good thing. If people are wearing masks and you are giving out masks, making sure you have something to use for the waste, making sure that's not something that's going to contaminate yourself, encouraging people to bring your own masks if you don't want to buy them. You know, if you're outside, you're a lot less risk for that contamination. Whereas if you're a medical facility, you don't necessarily want someone coming with their own mask into your facility. You want to require them to have a clean mask when they come in. So it's a lot different being outside. Good luck with the outdoor activities.
Zach, do you recommend for small businesses, for them to hand out to their employees masks, or do you recommend that they come in with their own? Like, talk about for that.
Yeah.
What are you? I mean, there's no yes and no. I know this.
Yeah, it's where would they have gotten the information to handle a mask appropriately? That's what we've been talking about with some of our other clients. You can't leave it up to the general public to figure out how to handle this. You come to somebody who's an expert and saying, this is the plan we're putting into place to handle face mask. If you're using the cloth ones, those have their own whole, parameters of cleaning daily and the usage of it. But yes, you should definitely handle every aspect of this in one form or another.
So the small business should have the control
100%.
Versus the employee.
All the businesses should take control. That's what's, from a liability perspective too, having that control and having that system that you are defining for your customers and your staff puts you in a place where everyone has a baseline of information that you are determining. You can use them in the process if you want to collectively talk about what the process is, how to do it. You can build these systems together with your teams, but ultimately, as a business that is your business, you want to define those things. And what that system is, for retail, it's going to be different than a hotel. For a hotel, it's going to be different than a doctor. So we're happy to answer and dive into those questions individually with all of you on one-on-one. We can go through those different things. So I'm going to keep running down this.
Here. Someone asked and someone just emailed me also. Do you have templates to include consent and waiver forms? I got 3 emails privately on that.
I will, if you look on the slide, I'll go back to, let's see, where was it? This slide. So basically, these can be tailored to any business. It basically is a system for employees to read, acknowledge that they not only received it, but that they understand the different section in it, to date it, to sign it, and to email it. We'll basically give you a system that collects these so you can have them digitally on file without having to buy a DocuSign, anything like that. These come complimentary. So we've talked about that.
Okay.
The next question in there is principles about environmental effects of the PPE, i.e. plastics. We are extremely conscious of sustainability, environmentalism in business. I've been in that industry for 20 plus years as an activist in the entertainment industry. I've got my MBA in sustainability. So as much as we can do, part of that, from the most basic form is like, we're starting to see waste of masks on the ground. And obviously littering is one part of sustainability, but that's also a dangerous contamination issue. One of the ideas is, again, these reuse and disposal bags. So people aren't throwing contaminated waste onto the grounds or even in the trash can of your businesses. Right now, in terms of disposable masks, disposable gloves, we are continuously looking into solutions, but KN95, they're not necessarily you don't necessarily want a biodegradable version of that mask. So the balance between packaging, medical efficiency, and supplies is something that we're constantly battling with and will continue to keep on the forefront of what we're doing. But thank you for that. We really respect that question. We're a healthcare placement service in New York. I would like to offer this to our clients. Wonderful, Mary Cordo. If you click on this join link on the page right now and send us a note, we'll get back to you in the next 24, 48 hours, and we'll do an introductory call and get that going. So we look forward to chatting with you. Is it possible to get in touch with us, Visual City, where we can partner social distance? Yes, again, same thing. We'll email you, Raza, but again, if you want to click that join link. That's the best way to become a member, which is free on behalf of the Greater New York Chamber. We've made that complimentary to all the members. Consent and waiver, yes.
Yep.
Are your KN95 masks certified and tested? Yes, KN95 masks are certified and tested. If your business or facility doesn't need the KN95 mask, we also offer the three-ply masks, which are a little bit more disposable, not as much protection, but less expensive and different for different business. And we also offer the cloth reusable ones that can be branded, that can put the charcoal filters in and be reused. So depending on your business, we can tailor whatever system that you guys want or need. This is only employee consent form very narrowly. Yeah, the one that you're seeing is that's just an example of it. We have the full one that we can share with you, Yvonne. And again, as you dive in further with us into a certification system, if you want to go there, we can help you tailor these employee consent forms to match what your plan is. So the employee consent form without a plan doesn't do anything. So those two have to work congruently with one another. Sign making shop, decals. We'd love to partner with you guys. Great. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Wade. We do offer full design services. So having a local partner that can help both businesses print themselves and for us to have a local partner there, that's exactly what I think this chamber is all about, is working with members to share resources, support each other. We're not here to take everything, print California, ship to you. We're going to do everything we possibly can to keep this within the network of the Greater Chamber as possible. And that's a perfect example of why the chamber is so successful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, any other questions out there? Again, my email's right there. You get your free membership by being part of the Greater Chamber, but you have to sign up for it. When you sign up for it, you're going to get all the information, the free templates, the free signage, and you'll get into our system if you want to get monthly mailings of free products that are new to the market, new kits we develop. So you'll be able to get all of those just by filling that out. And again, we're here, we're learning, and we want to learn with you. The more our membership participates in how we develop and build systems, the more we'll expedite the timelines for all of us to get back. No one has a perfect system, and everyone's learning right now. What we want to try to do is just offer you that support, the templates, things to make this easier. And we want to continuously share what we learn. And that's what being part of the membership for our business and with the chamber is going to get, is sort of that community experience to supporting you reopen your business. That's why the services are the most important thing. We hope you can buy the PPE from us too, but it is most importantly about what you need right now to get open, which is filling out that New York Forward document and make sure you have it filled out as the state has required, with the signage, with the templates, in a logbook printed up in your facility, mailed to all your staff. You're going to be able to do that after this presentation.
And we appreciate that. I think that is the key for this component, because the community, you guys have really explained, first of all, it's communication. If you show that what needs to be done as a small business or medium size, I know that we have, by the way, who's on here right now, we have people from CUNY, which is a huge university. We have people representing hotels. So when I say small businesses, I don't mean just small businesses. I mean, it's a group effort here. So as much information that we can provide for you, and Zach and Eric did that, even having the templates are so important, and just there are tidbits that they were going over, little things to really will assure your clients, your employees, that you're on top of it. And I think that's what we wanted to give this webinar and this presentation, information going, with the New York Forward template. they're gonna be able to, like, they kind of walked us through what we need and what you need to make your employees and your customers safe. So
And we have a further document that's a little bit more in depth.
Right.
We didn't share it here, but it goes through that document and then re-asks the questions. It's like, makes it, checklist sort of, you can't miss a step. It says, hang your signs here, here, and here with a checkbox. So we're going to go through, and if that's confusing for anyone, we're going to send you guys a sort of guidebook to filling that out, which sort of dummy proofs it a little bit.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm going to get, these guys are going to, they will have a list of all the attendees. So I'm sure that they're going to send out an email as a follow-up. So this way, in case they have any, if you guys have any questions, Zach's email is on the bottom, but they will be reaching out to you just to, to personalize what they are saying in case you have any questions that you walk away from the webinar and say, oh, I should have asked that, or I just read this article. And so they will be your go-to, they can answer your questions for you. And if they can't, then I'm sure that they will refer you to where the appropriate place to go to is. So
we hope you all are staying safe and wish you the best of luck during this crazy time. On a lighter note, we will trade PPE gear for corned beef specials from Katz's Deli. So
that would be great.
I know.
Well, everyone. Thank you for attending. I think this was very informative. From what I'm seeing from the chat, my responses, everyone loved it. So it wasn't informative. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, if you see me going back, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm looking at all the questions, making sure we're answering everything. But if you guys have any questions, reach out to me, helena@chamber.nyc. I can always forward it to Zach and Eric. And Zach and Eric, thank you so much for this presentation. It was very informative, and we appreciate your time. We appreciate you opening, this free, complimentary information to give it to the people that was here at the webinar.
Yeah, and we hope we can give this to every one of your members, Helena. So however we can, I think you share the archives of this. However we can get this out to people, we want to make sure that everyone is part of your chamber and beyond gets this stuff, especially the free stuff, to get them moving right away.
Definitely, and I'm copying a chat right now, so you have a copy of the, the personal questions, and then like I said, everyone be safe. Thank you for joining us today, and if, like I said, feel free to always reach out to the chamber if you have any questions. And most important thing is wear a mask.
Yeah. Be safe.
Not political. We just want to get through so we can get into phase 3 and phase 4.
All right. Good luck, everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.